The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered 12. Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Tuesday, boys and girls. What's up? Welcome into another episode of The Bostonian versus The Book. He is Dave Sharapan. I'm Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube at Boston versus The Book. Same handle for Twitter X. We fixed that. Yesterday was a little wonky. We're all good today, so we're good rolling on Twitter X. Good to see that. Replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM, channel 159. A lot of football to get to. Dave, how are you on this Tuesday?
Great. Rams smoked the Vikings. Sorry, you Minnesota guys. King of car seats, D-Stop 19. Didn't have a chance. That game was over. Didn't go over. Stayed under, but it was a wrap pretty much pretty quickly. But, yeah, things are good. Sun shining. It's still cold, still windy. A lot of stuff in the air. Go outside, your eyes get all messed up, things like that. But it's good.
Well, let's start with that, what happened last night. The Vikings got steamrolled. I blame the Lions. It's the Lions' fault. This trend, 18-32 now, ATS over the last 3 years. The week after playing the Detroit Lions, the teams are 18-32 against the number.
Well, that's good because that trend won't matter after that. That's the last time we can use that one.
Until next year.
Yep. And it won't matter next year.
Why?
I think it's highly coincidental, but
really? Over 3 years?
I don't know. I mean, who was beating the Rams last night the way they play defense? 9 sacks?
Yeah, but that was the offensive line. It looked like they were clueless.
No adjustments? I
blame you guys, JPC. I do.
Okay.
I blame the Lions. They beat the hell out of the teams, and the next week, they're just not the same. It used to be like with Pittsburgh. You play Pittsburgh the week after, you're just kind of banged up. You're not there. You're not sharp. And you're just not the same team. It happened in back-to-back weeks in the same exact way. They went up against the Lions at home. The next week, they got spanked by 10 points against the Rams. They got up against the Lions, or played the Lions. Vikings got spanked, this time on the road. Went on the road to the Rams. They got worked. 27-9 the following week.
It was so impressive the way the Rams started, too, when they passed every play. I said it last night. It reminded me of Ed Henry coming out against Remember the Titans. When he said, Ed Henry's kicking my ass out there. You know, they lined up in all these different formations, tight end, catches a pass. Everybody caught a pass in the first 2 drives for the Rams. It was like, who do we cover? Cooper Kupp didn't catch a pass, though. You know, everyone else did. I don't know. It was did it make the Rams become an immediate, like, hello, they could win again?
Well, they always were. I mean, that's the 5th time this season that Matthew Stafford has won a game as an outright dog this year.
Yeah.
Like they've already been a team I've been very impressed with just by their ability to go on the road and win games outright. The thing that's really interesting is that Matthew Stafford now is 4-0 in the playoffs at home or on a neutral field. He's only 1-2 on the road. And now they have to go on the road. They're not going to get 9 sacks against Jalen Hurts. They're not going to get 6 sacks in the first half, which is the most since 1988 for any playoff team. The forced fumble return for a touchdown, 17-3, lights out. That was game over. Yeah. Any shot they had was gone. So I'm all in on the Rams. I love the story. I love the Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay connection. I love the wide receivers. I love the young guys they've got on the defense that have really played above their heads. You're asking a lot for them to go on the road and beat Philly in Philly.
Especially, remember when Philly went to L.A.? Remember what happened there?
Beat them by 17 points. Beat them badly.
And Saquon ran all over them.
All over them. Now, have they fixed things? They were 3-point dogs in that game at home, and they lost by 17. Have they fixed things? We'll see. Because if they haven't, it's a rout. But the first move, 6.5 to 5.5.
Yeah.
Came on the dog.
You can use that just further. The first bet should always be on the dog.
Okay.
So you have to find that number. Do we make this thing 7 or not? No. See if they'll take 6 or 6.5. Simple. So now it's settled in pretty much everywhere at 6. The Euro books that don't want to use half points or whole numbers, well, we'll use 5.5 for now. But I don't know. That was pretty impressive. And now, I don't know, maybe they got something to play for more than what they were playing for, but those LAFD things looked pretty cool and made remind everybody that there's a lot more going on than football.
Yeah.
So,
and Arizona deserves a lot. The Cardinals and Michael Bidwell deserve a lot of credit and a lot of thanks for that. I mean, they converted the team store for the Cardinals into a Rams team store, selling just Ram stuff. That's a divisional opponent. Like, could you imagine the Steelers flipping their team store into a Ravens team store?
Well, they do that in LA for the Lakers and the Clippers, like the teams in the same building. It's unbelievable how fast they could do that.
But this is Arizona. This is Arizona.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, they can do it so quickly. You got to give those people a lot of credit. I mean, it's like turning an arena from a hockey arena to a basketball arena in 24 hours. When you watch the process, you're just like, what in the world? There's no sign of it even probably being a Cardinals
team store,
merch store.
It was all LA. Everything. They brought 200 gallons of paint with them to paint the practice field to look like the Rams practice fields. Wow. I mean, that's really cool. That's really, really cool that the Cardinals went above and beyond to help out the Rams and their families. And now the question is, how do they get ready for a playoff game on the road in Philadelphia where their own practice facility might not be usable? Like, how soon do they go east? Like, what day? Today, tomorrow? Like, got to figure the Rams are going to look to go east quickly and not be around just in case. I mean, they're expecting hurricane force winds today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fires aren't going anywhere.
That's a good question. I mean, it's a short week, right? I mean, having to play on Monday night I still don't know if it's right. I don't know.
I don't like it at all.
People like it, but
it's good for betting. It's good for betting and TV revenue and ratings, but I don't like it from a football perspective.
3 Saturday, 3 Sunday would just be perfect and would work great. But and I think it would be a less of an advantage.
Competitive, right?
I don't know, Nikki. That's a good question. Could they stay in Arizona?
No, they left after the game last night.
Okay,
they didn't even stay at night. They went down there and went right back. So it was quick. I mean, because from Phoenix to LA, it's a 2-second flight. So that's why. But can't they stay at the Greenbrier and then go to Philly? They could, yeah, in West Virginia. They could. Yep. That's what a lot of people have. I mean, during the Hurricanes, they've done that in the past. College teams have done that. Pro teams have done that when they've gone on 2 games back-to-back on the East Coast, have gone and stayed at the Greenbrier. So you could do that. I think Hard Knocks had an episode from the Greenbrier once before too. So yeah, that's possible that you could potentially.
It's a nice place. It's isolated from everywhere. I've been there, played golf there, saw the sports book there. I don't know. It would get them used to the elements and the cold, which they're going to have to deal with. I don't know. What do you make of the Vikings after that, though?
How much money did Sam Darnold cost himself over the last 2 games?
Oof.
I mean, not just last night. It's not just, and that's why Kevin O'Connell had to defend him last night in the postgame. It's not just the performance against the Rams that will be brought up when it comes to Sam Darnold. It's the performance on the road against the Lions with the division on the line. He threw up all over himself. Like, this guy, people are talking about $40 million a year for Sam Darnold, franchise quarterback.
Somebody's going to pay it.
You think so?
Somebody will pay him. I don't know if he'll get paid like the top guy. I don't know. I don't know what the scale is. Try not to really worry about the money.
I mean, think of it. It's $25 million is what Geno Smith was making, and that's what the Seahawks paid him, and he wanted 40 to 50.
Right.
So that's pretty. I think that's where the ceiling starts. Is 25 million. I think that, or the basement starts for Darnold is 25 million, and I'll be curious to see how much more over that he gets. There's a lot of jobs open, a lot of quarterback needy teams, but as an upper echelon franchise quarterback, go ahead and throwing a ton of money at him. Yeah, I would agree, Brandon. I think the Raiders would be depending on who they wind up getting. So if the Raiders' job, it's Tom Brady's search. Brady's running it. If you read the article this morning in the RJ here locally in Vegas, Brady's the one who's going to hire the coach. So that's why everybody in New England believes that Tom Brady will never call a game again after this season because he's going to be too heavily involved with the Raiders and he's going to be a football guy, not a broadcaster. So now, open job. Does Ben Johnson want the Raider job? Is it the defensive coordinator whose name I always forget for the Lions, the former defensive back, that he may get the job as well? But I can't wait to see who the Raiders take, who they want, because it'll have a lot to say about the quarterback spot. But Brady working with Sam Darnold, that wouldn't be horrible. That wouldn't be Aaron Glenn. Thank you. That wouldn't be a horrible thing if Tom Brady's your quarterback coach.
Tom Brady's not going to be a quarterback coach.
No, not by name, but he could be there at practice working with whomever. Tom Brady's going to be hands-on on the Raiders. This has been essentially Mark Davis is giving the team to Brady. He's like, build me a franchise. Build me a winner.
Remember when Jeter went to the Marlins?
Oh, God. That didn't last long.
I don't think he was out there doing double play drills.
I don't know.
I don't think.
I thought he was working with the team in spring training. I thought he was down there with the Marlins in spring training, helping them out.
I mean, the beauty of life is as you get older and you get away from doing the job that you know and love as you get higher up in management. You can't do what you know. And, you pay someone else to do it, and it goes from there. I don't see him working on the 2-minute drill with the quarterbacks here at the Raiders, as much as it sounds like it's a great idea. But, I mean, he might help them with different things.
That's true, Nikki. That's true. Yeah.
Wow.
Albert Breer reported it. That the initial plan for Ben Johnson was Bears, Jaguars, Patriots. But Brady, through intermediaries, got to Ben Johnson and said, interview with the Raiders.
Okay, so
now, that could just be kissing the ring. That could just be genuflecting to Brady and just saying, okay, fine. When the GOAT asks, I'm not going to say no.
I mean, I think it's worth a job interview. And again, you have to look at it when you're taking the job. Do you want to live here? One, do you want to come into whatever this is? Two, and how do we get it better? We got to play the Chiefs twice, the Chargers twice, and the Broncos twice immediately. That's where you're at. And then you know the schedule basically for next year, and you go, okay, what's my expectations? It's just like our meetings, It's the same thing. What do you guys want? What are you expecting? Because this is what we can provide. I don't know. I don't know if he takes it.
Albert Breer reported yesterday, quote, I don't think it's Brady's intention to be in Vegas day to day. His family being in Florida full time will likely prevent that for the time being. But I also don't think he's going to put his name on anything that he doesn't feel like he can fully put his name behind. It's been well established that Brady wasn't wild about the way things were going, the way things were operated with Antonio Pierce, which is a big reason why Pierce isn't there anymore. Tom Brady got Antonio Pierce fired because it didn't like, which is funny because the giant linebacker gets iced by the Patriot quarterback, which is doesn't fall away from us in New England. Remembering how that went.
That's the only way you could beat him.
Tom gets his last licks
Right? He gets
on Antonio Pierce.
Finally found the way to beat the Giants.
To say goodbye. I'm not really all. Yeah, he fired the GM too. Tom Telesco should have been fired the same day that they fired Antonio Pierce. I don't know why they didn't. It was so weird.
Still strange here talking to people in town about it and just going, what the hell was that?
That's Jack. I can't put your name on the screen. I'm sorry, but you're asking an interesting question.
Hoff?
I can't.
Mr.
I can't.
Hoff?
Yeah, we can't put that on the screen. But why the hell is Brady on the call for the Lions game? Understand he can't be in team meetings or anything, but he shouldn't have the opportunity to talk to him pregame. I mean, you can talk to Ben Johnson on the field. It's a great point. It's a great point, right? Brady's only allowed to talk to the coaches during game day. So he can go talk to Ben Johnson on the field and say, hey, man.
It's a little awkward.
What are we doing? You taking the job? Like, I want you to come take the job.
It's so awkward.
If you're Ben Johnson, hypothetically, right? If you're Ben Johnson, you're the hottest name. You're the OC. Mike Vrabel was the number one option because he had been a head coach before. But now you got Deion, which we'll talk about later. You got a bunch of like guys that don't have the same type of cachet that you have in the NFL right now. If you're Ben Johnson, do you want a team that's a complete blank piece of paper, or do you want a quarterback, offensive culture? You want something that you're walking into to improve upon.
Ooh. How long has he been in Detroit?
He's young. Ben Johnson's young. He's been in Detroit for a while, though. He is. Ben Johnson's 38 years old. He's been with the Lions since 2020. Nope, 2019.
4 years, 5 years.
He was the offensive offensive quality control coach, then tight ends, then the passing game coordinator, and now the offensive coordinator for the last 2 years. He's 38 years old. Young.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'd call Josh McDaniel.
To be the head coach?
No, I would call him to ask him for advisement. Would you have stayed, or did you do the right thing by taking that job when you left? Because you were in a pretty good situation. You got all them rings. You were, You
mean the Patriots, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, he became a head coach.
Right. But again, going to be the head coach of a bad team, you end up back to where you were, but you can't go back to where you are.
Right. But you go back to being an OC somewhere, though. But yeah, right. He's 38 years old. So, like, are you going to be the next Kevin O'Connell? Like, is that the question? Or are you going to be someone who flames out quickly and you get blown out and you get fired fast? The Raiders tend to fire their coaches pretty fast. Does Brady have the ability to give a Ben Johnson, maybe not him, but somebody else, somebody like Ben Johnson, some stability and say, hey, we're not going to be like that. We're going to give you time. I'm telling Mark Davis that we're going to give you 5 years or whatever to build this. And just because there's not the quarterback now, we could have the quarterback. We have the 6th pick in the draft. We could either move up and get a quarterback, or a Sam Darnold could be available, or someone like that could be your quarterback going forward.
I mean, a guy like him, just put yourself in his shoes. Do you want to be a head coach? If you want to be a head coach, well, I mean, I don't know if he does or not, but I mean, if he does,
he wouldn't interview for 4 jobs if he didn't want to be a head coach.
I don't know. Sometimes you got to take interviews for the jobs just to learn about the jobs. I don't know. Maybe you want to be a head coach, but not right now or not with those teams.
Okay.
I mean, it ain't bad showing up for work with the best team. I just think like when Bruce Arians left Pittsburgh, I mean, he was the guy that made sure everything worked for the offense. And he took that job in Indy, and then he went to Arizona, got it done in Tampa. I mean, you jump all around. Coaches want to coach. And, everybody wants to make money, but don't take it for the money. I don't know. I don't know what situation would he want. I would think he'd want more of a blank slate.
Okay. Well, that's the Raiders. The Raiders are going to be a complete, like, you can do whatever you want. Whatever coach comes in here, you're going to get carte blanche to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's no culture. There's not even a fan base. Like there's nothing, no one's going to feel wrong about you running whatever offense you want to run, whatever player, other than maybe Max Crosby. Trading maybe Max Crosby would cause some people to be upset, but there's nobody else. Like, going and paying Sam Darnold to be your quarterback. It will feel like Jimmy Garoppolo 2.0. I'm not going to lie. Like when Jimmy G came here, we thought, okay, established quarterback needs a new place, running a new offense. He's going to be able to do big things. And that worked out really well, really poorly, obviously. So offensive line, you got to spend for the offensive line. They've gone defense recently. I mean, ever since John Gruden was let go, they've been in sort of a tailspin. Josh McDaniels did not work. Yeah, Josh McDaniels did not work. Rich Bisaccia probably should have gotten the job, but he wasn't seasoned enough for them. So they went out and tried to find somebody else, and it didn't work. And then they got Antonio Pierce, and it didn't work. So you got to find somebody that's going to give some stability on top of the fact that the division is just right now, in the conversation for the best division in football.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. You have to know what you're getting into.
He will not take that pumpkin to be his quarterback. Maybe he doesn't think Darnold's a pumpkin, Daniel G. Maybe he thinks he can get everything out of him that Kevin O'Connell did, but maybe they just weren't prepared for the Rams defense or whatever that they did. Maybe just the Lions saw something that he wouldn't have done. I don't know. Better running game. I don't know.
I don't know either. It sounds... Ian lights out. I can change him. Mm-hmm.
Or you draft a quarterback and or you trade for a quarterback and you try to find some. I mean, Jameis Winston most likely is going to be available. Winston in Vegas would be awesome. I think it would be super fun to have Jameis Winston be here. Like there are certain guys.
Not for the coach. It'd be fun for the fans and the people to bet against them. No. I mean, as a backup, and as somebody who might be able to start, you don't want Jameis to be your starter. Not now.
I mean, are the Raiders going to be able to draft a quarterback at 6? Maybe. Will they have to move up potentially? I mean, it's only 3 really people say that have first round grades. So now you start scraping the bottom of the barrel. Although I think Jackson Dart going in the top 10 is going to happen. And I think people start to really take a look at that. Jameis is literally blind. That's not true. It's not nice.
I just glanced down in the chat and I saw D Stout 19.
Oh God.
Showing up today to this show was hard, but I'm here looking for a new team. Send me applications. I mean, you might as well get on the Lions bandwagon. I know it's in the division, but I mean, it's the only team left from the NFC North still playing. All those games they won and beat everybody else.
I love Jackson Dart.
Another SEC quarterback.
I don't know if he's if he's going to go 6. Might be able to trade down and get him, but I like Jackson Dart a lot. I've liked him. I like he fits the mold of today's NFL quarterback. He is very athletic, got a big arm, not afraid to pull the ball down the field. Coming out of a pro style offense at Ole Miss.
Yep.
I like it. If I'm a quarterback coach, that's a guy who I'm not a big Shedeur Sanders fan. I'm just not. And I think he's okay. I don't think he's going to be as good as everyone says he's going to be in the NFL.
Put it in the chat, boys and girls. Who do you want if you're drafting a quarterback of the guys available? Curious. Because I think you get opinions all over. The Juice is in there saying, I like Dart over Cam Ward.
I agree, too. Cam Ward's a walking interception. He is Jameis Winston 2.0. That's who Cam Ward is.
Wow.
He's Jameis 2.0.
Really?
He thinks he can do whatever he wants with his arm. He thinks he can throw into windows that are tiny. He thinks he can run left, throw right, off balance. Like he's made so many bad throws in college. I mean, again, Cam Ward, awesome year, but in the pros.
Yorkie said Cam. CBW said Kyle McCord. Or JPC to Fort. They all stink.
He's not really wrong. I mean, this is not a very good. If this is tough, if you're in the need of a quarterback in this coming draft, this is not good news for you. This is not quality.
It is unreal how the Vikings won 14 games, lost the last 2, and all those millions of dollars, everything for Sam. And it's just,
Answer this question.
This is terrible.
Who is more cursed? The Vikings, the Bills, the Clippers, and the Maple Leafs?
I mean, the Clippers never really got close, so you can't roll them.
What do you
on
mean?
this.
But the Clippers got where they traded. They thought they had a super team. Like they thought they had the
did,
claw, and they had all these
Yeah.
great. They thought they were going to
It's
win it
very
all.
short-lived.
Eh.
I mean, like, think of the decades of punishment that Vikings fans have endured. Getting
Bills
close.
fans. Bills fans
Lost 4
equally.
Super Bowls. Bills was a shorter window, but they continue to get close. Just can't get to the end and lose. They just lose on the way. Jeez.
No brainer. It's the Bills.
Wow. It's the Bills, Joe C. Myers? I don't know. I think it's the Maple Leafs, to be perfectly
We'll see if
honest.
the Bills say hold my beer this weekend.
Can you believe it?
And the Sixers are not on this list. Come on. I'm not putting the Sixers on this list. They're not in the
good
same
enough.
category.
Didn't get to the place where you got to get to be cursed. You know, they do it to themselves.
Losing 4 Super Bowls in a row is pretty bad. I'll give you that. That definitely stinks.
Well, I mean, continuing to have what a lot of people will argue is the best team, and then not being able to get through the Chiefs,
Right.
the Ravens. I mean, this is their time. They got to the divisional playoffs. Oh boy, Linus coming over the top from Canada. It's not just the Vikings. That whole state is cursed.
Oh
Wow.
no. To prove the point from King of Car Seats.
We have 4 major teams and haven't made a final in 30 years. That is round the clock, year-round aggravation and heartbreak. Oh my.
Boy, oh boy, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Vikings over Bills if I was making a number. I'd say the
Really?
Vikings
I think
over
most
first,
fans would
yeah.
say Bills over Vikings, though. I
No,
think most
the
fans
Bills.
wide right. I mean, Scott Norwood. I think people just quickly have more Bills memory.
That was packed in 4 years in a row. I mean, that was
Jim
terrible.
Kelly, Thurman Thomas.
That was a hard 4 years. I mean, we might have a hard 4 years coming up here. Some people argue we had a hard 4 years just these past 4 years. A lot of things outside of sports.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Everything's in 4-year windows.
Right.
That was a hard 4-year window for the Bills. But I mean, think of the decades. Like for hockey.
Does it matter if the Maple Leafs have a championship in what, 1970, whatever the last time they won it?
60 something.
Right? Does it make it? Do we drop the Maple Leafs from this list because they have a championship in their history?
They actually won. Yeah.
They have championships in their history where the other teams on this list do not.
Damn.
Like, does it matter that our grandparents are the only ones that actually saw a Maple Leaf championship, or does it not matter because it was so long ago?
Yeah. Man, oh man. I don't know.
See, Josie Meyer says they don't make the list because they've won a championship.
Fair. I mean, that's a good argument to keep.
It is the cup drop, but it's not just the Maple Leafs' fault that the cup drop is there since 94, 95. It's, it's everyone's. It's the whole Canadian country.
It's going against the states and the countries. Linus threw the first shot across the bow there with saying the state was cursed. And now you guys are going to Canada.
It is fun to laugh at the Leafs. I'll admit that. I agree. It is fun.
Raymaker Lou just
67. There we go.
Yeah, thank you, CBW.
1967.
The 98 Vikings team should have won the Super Bowl. Does that count?
No, because they did not.
Gary Anderson didn't miss a field goal the whole year until that game. They have not recovered. At Spintana, you're right. I was so, as soon as the Rams went down and scored, and then the Vikings did not answer, I came downstairs. I told Kendall, well, this is over.
10-0 is where I hit. I said that at 10-0, not 7-0, but at 10-0, I said that was it. I said, oh, it's 10-0. See you later. And then 17-3.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Where are the Jets on the list? I don't know. I mean, again, the Jets have a championship. So
Jets won, yeah.
So the Jets would be in the same boat as the Maple Leafs on this. And the Jets had more, I don't know. The Jets just have been less heartbreak is what I'm saying for the Jets. They just suck. It's not really a curse on the Jets. They just suck. So I think there's a difference there. Like you can be like the Buccaneers were really bad for a long time. The Patriots were really bad for a long time. They weren't cursed. The Red Sox were cursed. The Patriots were not. It's really bad. So like, I'm not saying who's bad, but the Vikings, Bills, Clippers, and Maple Leafs all had flash moments in the last 30 years where they thought they were going to win. They thought they were the best team. They thought they had a shot. And then Lucy pulled the football.
Mikey, awesome. They haven't won since the moon landing. Put a few teams on that list, the Jets, the Leafs. Yikes. I don't know. Hockey-wise, it's definitely the Leafs. That's a bad. I mean, that is cursed. Like
JJ McCarthy.
Does Cleveland make the list?
For the Browns? No, they're just bad. Not cursed, just bad. Cavaliers, they won championships.
A couple times. I don't know. Cleveland's got a lot of scar tissue as well.
JJ McCarthy tweeted this out.
What does that mean?
Love of fate.
Oh,
is a Latin phrase.
Oh.
Amor fati. Love of fate.
Really?
So everyone's trying to determine, does he mean the fate of the Vikings will change because he's the quarterback next year? Or that they ran with Sam Darnold and then fate, they can't win because of fate. The fate of the team was set up that way. Yorkie says he's a hater. He's saying he's a hater. See, there's two ways of interpreting this tweet. One way is by saying, like, I got you, franchise. Hold on a second. The other is it was Sam Darnold, and that's kind of where we're at with this. Love of fate or love of one's fate. It's the mindset that you need to embrace both the good and bad moments in your life as part of the journey, because they are both opportunities to learn.
Well, I think that's a weird tweet to put out. His body's not even cold. Like, I know guys want to play.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I like the quarterback to be confident, but he was hurt and hasn't played it down. I mean, wait. Like, just don't say anything. Silence is so much stronger to me. But that's not a good tweet. I don't think. I mean,
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like I got you, like I'm here to save the day type of thing. But like, it's such a, like, you look at it and you're like, what the hell does amor fati means? Like, what does that mean? Like, what are you doing, JJ? Amor fati? Like, what? Like, we're speaking Latin? Like, it's a Latin phrase. It's one of those things like when people tattoo that on their body and you're like, what the hell does that mean? Like, why? I can't understand this. Like, what?
I mean, somebody has to explain it. I mean, I guess, he's not going to explain it. He's going to be the starting quarterback, or at least have a shot at going into the season with the job at this point, right? There's no chance Darnold's coming back. I don't think.
I don't know how.
I mean, unless they get him at a super discount, or they get him at a, and again, I don't claim to be a capologist or understand how these franchise tags and things work, but I don't know. I would be surprised if they said, you know what, let's run this back with Sam. JJ, you have an opportunity to beat him in camp. Sam, do you want to try to win a job? We'll pay you this. You can stay.
I don't know, Fathead. We asked it earlier. How many millions did he lose? I don't know. 30, 50, 100, who knows? Could have gotten a 5-year, $40 million a year, $200 million contract.
Yeah.
Now it's probably a 3-year, $20 million a year contract.
Like where, though?
Raiders.
Glad you didn't say Pittsburgh.
No, I think Pittsburgh's a really interesting situation, because the question will be, if Mike Tomlin's back, you could see Russell Wilson be back. Like, they may run it back. So if you have a different situation, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers,
Nikki,
Oh, no.
Associate producer Nikki Ciramello says the Steelers are going to get Rodgers. I don't think so.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
I think if I'm a Steeler fan and I was watching, there's a Boston media show. This is a Boston show. Who's the producer is from Pittsburgh and a big Steeler fan, and he was making the case that he'd rather be 3-14 next year than go 10-7 again and lose in the first round. So he'd rather be the Panthers than the Steelers right now. You don't think that way, do you?
I don't know.
They
haven't drafted in the top 15 picks in
yes, that's what he said.
Like
he
20 years.
He's sick and tired of drafting 19th, going 10-7 and losing by 30 in the playoffs in the first round.
And you can't, I mean, you really can't miss when you draft that late in the first round. Like that guy's got to make the team, like you would think. And when it happens like it did with Pickett and it sets everything back, that's a problem.
Derek Carr to Pittsburgh? You don't want Derek Carr in Pittsburgh. You can't play outdoors.
I don't think that's going to work.
That's not good. Give the team to Fields. I would too. I would have this year. But everyone says they must know something because they're in practice and Tomlin must see something that Fields can't play, I guess. I would have played Fields from the get-go. I also would not have signed Justin Fields to begin with because it was just creating a quarterback controversy you didn't need.
Well, it wasn't really a controversy. Once it
not to the head coach, it wasn't. Fair.
So he didn't make it a controversy. I don't know. I think they had options and they didn't use them. You know, he got hurt. So he sat, but the hurt thing, he wasn't hurt Saturday. They could have thrown him in there for a series and said, listen, Russell, these guys are coming. We're going to put Justin in there to change the pace.
Yeah, you know? Didn't happen.
So I don't know. The only soundbite that I heard briefly today from Tomlin's press conference was there's going to be a lot of changes around here.
Him included?
No, he's staying.
He's staying.
Yeah, his contract's good for another couple of years. I think he's signed through 27 or something.
Damn.
So, you know, they need to get help on the offensive line. Who said it? There's Bruce Bader. He said it.
He can't play indoors. I don't think Tomlin likes field. That's true. But Carr can't play indoors either. Fair. That's fair. You can't play indoors or outdoors.
Yeah. Yikes.
Who's better at outdoors, though? They may have been indoors and outdoors. I wouldn't play him in Pittsburgh. It doesn't work.
Oh, my.
I can't wait to watch it because, again, I talked about this a couple of days ago, but I love when there's rivalries that spur on other franchises. Like if the Ravens win the Super Bowl, which I think is very possible, the Ravens win it all. It's going to piss off Pittsburgh so much that it could cause you guys to act out of character. It could cause you guys to go and get a new OC or go get a quarterback at high price or trade up in the draft, do things you guys haven't done before because of what's gone on with the division and the team in your division that's the defending champs, if that were to happen. So I love that. So I think we got to see how the offseason goes here post February 9th. And if it's the Chiefs who have 3 straight championships, it gives the Steelers cover. Like this gives Mike Tomlin all the cover in the world to say, hey, look, we're up against a dynasty that is something we've never seen before in the NFL. A 3-time defending champion, win all 3 years. Don't blame me. It's Mahomes. It's Andy Reid.
One goal in Pittsburgh is to be better than Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland.
Okay.
Once you get that done,
but that's
not all you should do right now is try to figure out how to get better than those 3 teams so we can be a home game and have a shot at winning the other out of conference games, whatever it is, and then see what happens in the playoffs. But they're not better. I don't even know if they're better than Cincinnati.
Fair. I don't think they are. I don't think.
And I know they're not better than Baltimore.
No.
And
the Browns on a given day.
I mean, like, you know, they're not even like that.
On a given day, the Browns can beat you.
Yeah. So now they got a second place schedule coming next year. So it's going to be different.
How about that Patriots schedule? Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know how many games on the road the Patriots are going to win. Their road schedule's tough.
The road games are Tennessee, New Orleans,
2. That's it. Those are the 2 games
Tampa.
they're going to win.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, they're not winning at Baltimore or Cincinnati. And then
Why not?
They'll win maybe a division game on the road.
They can't beat Cincinnati. The team had 5 home losses this year. They can't beat Cincy and Cincy. Why not?
No, I don't think so.
They beat them in Foxborough last year.
Just saying. I saw that schedule too. Thank you, CBW, for all those tags. Tags us on all this stuff. He does the show prep. It's amazing. Yeah, I don't know. That you got to really narrow the focus. Like you can't with all that. It doesn't matter who wins the Super Bowl. I don't think it does. We got to get better than the teams in the division.
Yeah,
doesn't
if it's the Ravens, then it's under your point.
Doesn't matter. Well, I mean, if they win the Super Bowl, they smoked them the last time they played them. That should be. We can't have that happen again.
300 yards rushing.
What they do after that,
right?
If they go to Buffalo and win, more power to them. But
I don't know. I think your quarterback might be Russell Wilson next year. There's a shot.
But he wants the money.
Sure, but I think you'll pay him 1 year, 2 years, short contract. Tie him to Tomlin. Tomlin's got 3 years.
What the Rooneys do, they don't just pay.
Yeah, but short-term money. That's my point, though. I mean, you may see your team act out of character. If the Ravens win it all, you guys might act differently because of those reasons.
I don't know.
Oh, you can't bring back. Nicholas said you can't bring him back. I think they may have to. They may have no choice.
I don't know. Above my pay grade.
So if you like the division as being the most important thing, then you must be a fan of the current NFL bracket system.
You have to win the division to get a home game, yes. Makes it worthwhile. Why they're going to reseed it?
They're thinking about it, yes. Because Tampa had a far worse record than Washington. They played at home.
Uh-huh.
Vikings had a way better record than the Rams. They played at home.
The Vikings
on the road. Vikings on the road.
Yeah. Vikings had to play on the road.
Washington on the road. Washington won. Vikings lost.
Uh-huh.
There's thoughts about saying, hold on a second, forget about who wins the division. Just take record. And your records fill out the bracket.
Stupid.
Agreed. Agreed.
I mean, what are we doing?
But
just let everybody make the playoffs.
Well, here's the problem, though. The games have stunk. First round college football margin of victory was 19 points per game. Super Wildcard weekend margin of victory was 19 points per game before last night.
Tigsy, do whatever you'd like with that info. Yeah. Guess what?
So the games have
separation.
Stunk. But the games have stunk because of how it's being seeded out.
Did the games stink in the Final Four to college football? When the teams get better, the games get better, don't they?
Fair. Yeah. Agreed. This weekend's games will be better. I mean, at least Sunday's games will be better than Saturday.
This weekend's games are going to be great.
Saturday might not be great, but Sunday will be great.
I think Saturday's going to be sneaky good.
Good. I hope so.
We may only get one blowout, a double-digit margin of victory. I think it's going to be great. If everybody stays healthy, there's not a major injury or something.
Mm-hmm.
The games are set up. Divisional round is the best round all the time. The first round stinks a lot of times.
Saturday would be great because your team is playing, JPC. That's why. But you're 9.5-point favorites. Like you're huge favorites.
Dan Quinn coaches his ass off and trades scores with that team. That's going to be an entertaining football game.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that Detroit doesn't end up winning by 14 or 17, but I think it's going to be entertaining.
I hope you're right.
Washington's playing with house money, man.
56.
They went down to Tampa and went for it on every fourth down.
56.
So we're not punting today. Yeah.
56.
Yeah.
In a playoff game, 56. Super high total.
Different life, man. This isn't your father's NFL anymore. It's not our NFL anymore.
I don't know what to do with that total. It screamed bet under. First move was under 55.5. It's already been down a half a point, but I mean, my God, 56. Whew. Because the Lions might kill him.
Right.
I mean, the Lions might just destroy James Daniels. I mean, don't count him out. I might count him out. On the road, it's one thing to go beat Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay. It's a whole different story to walk into the Dome in Detroit and beat them there. Different game, different level, different opponent. Everyone's pissed off about the anytime touchdown prices. You see those yet?
For which game?
For this game, Lions, Tampa.
I make them all minus.
Minus 420? Because that's what Gibbs.
There's a guy to score a touchdown is minus what?
420.
Where's my glasses? What did you say? One guy to score a touchdown is minus 420?
Here are your prices at FanDuel for touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs is minus 420. David Montgomery is minus 330. Amon St. Brown's minus 150. And unfortunately, there's no bet on that. Because I would bet the no just in case for an injury. Guy gets hurt. Bet the no.
I never heard of minus 420.
Jahmyr Gibbs, minus 420.
I don't usually get stunned by stuff. That's stunning. That is the ultimate.
Yep.
F you.
Daniel G wrote to us on Twitter, what the F are we doing here?
That is
and I would agree. Yes, that's a go away price. It's bet something else price.
Go away. That's leave the country. You can't bet that in America. You can't bet that in Canada. I wouldn't even bet that offshore. That is nuts.
I mean, minus 330 is nuts too. 420 is horrific, but 330 is right behind. I mean, you have two running backs for the Lions.
That's unbelievable.
Let me see. Are you allowed to parlay those? I'd love to see the price of this on a parlay.
Anytime touchdown. You want to parlay minus 4 something and
I'm just seeing
I let you do it.
Let's see what the price is.
Right through.
Let's see what the price is.
Come on in. Come on in and do it.
Let's see. Anytime touchdown scores. Let's see.
That's still minus 180, I think.
Oh, God. Wait a minute. Guys, hold on a second. Because the prices must have just flipped dramatically because they're no longer up like that. It's now 220 and 155.
Okay. I don't know about that.
But I'm looking at screenshots of multiple people in the chat who sent it to us on Twitter.
Oh.
That had it as first touchdown is plus 490 on Gibbs. Anytime is minus 220. Montgomery, it's minus 155. That's more like it. You can parlay those two together. It's plus 155.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's.
Someone bet the no. You can't bet the no at FanDuel. There is no market for a no for that. So I don't know. Daniel G, where'd you find that?
Last night it was minus 360 Gibbs. Man, oh man.
Last night it was 360. It was 420. Last night it was 360. Was that a mistake?
I don't know. Would put that number that high. I would never put that number that high. I mean, unless the bosses said don't take any bets on it. That's just telling you just don't, you're not taking no bets on it. Or strictly parlay piece or something. I mean, like, nobody's betting that straight.
I mean, Gibbs is scoring. It's 330 at DraftKings.
Yeah.
So FanDuel adjusted. DraftKings hasn't. Wow, that's expensive. That's really expensive.
That's the highest I've ever seen.
330 for $4.
Is it? I mean, there it is. JPC to fourth. I mean, Gibbs is scoring.
Gets hurt though. You want to lay that type of price?
I don't think so. But again,
that's expensive.
People will bet it. People will lay it. What is? Oh, I don't know. What? The total's high in the Derrick Henry and the Ravens and the Bills. What's Derrick Henry's yes price anytime touchdown?
It is currently
minus 200.
Minus 200. Minus somewhere in that range. It was minus 225 in the first game. Touchdown scores. Henry is minus 210.
Still got it.
I would take Henry and do the exact same bet that I did last week. Derrick Henry, anytime touchdown, Derrick Henry over his rushing props of 96.5, plus 137. Plus 140 last week. This week is plus 137. Henry is scoring, and Henry's running for 100 yards.
Joe Mogan said, I bet Gibbs to score last game and it didn't hit. It's a mark when you lay that number like that and it doesn't hit. Yeah. Don't be wishing injury upon anybody.
Don't need what? Don't need that? What do you mean?
Don't be wishing injury upon anybody.
No, I'm just saying it's just what it is. It's just that's why there should be a no market. But there isn't. Offshore's got no markets, but American books don't take the no.
Man,
they have a yes, there should be a no.
Oh, the kids love the props. That's
They
not
do.
one I would bet. That I cannot believe that number's that high. It's crazy.
I know you don't like these conversations, but we're going to have them anyway because it's interesting because we have children. So Deion Sanders interviewed, or at least spoke, to Jerry Jones about the open head coaching job for the Dallas Cowboys. Deion Sanders has a stipulation. Deion Sanders is not coaching in the NFL unless he is coaching one of his two sons. It's LeBron James all over again. Would you hire Deion with a stipulation that I will, yes, draft your son or sons?
How is that going to work out?
Awful. It's not going to, but that's his stipulation. If, Jerry, you want me to coach your team, I will coach your team, but you are going to either draft my son who's a DB or my son who's a quarterback.
Are you doing the son any justice in that?
Zero. Especially because his DB son, Junior, isn't really all that good. He's going to the Senior Bowl and hopes to elevate his draft stock. Shador can play. Shador is a top 15 pick. But the Cowboys have a quarterback in Dak Prescott.
One of the great things about being a parent is watching your children grow and then, do something without your help or do something on their own, fail or succeed. They're doing it by themselves. Sports is a meritocracy. I mean, you really get what you earn.
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about Jerry Jones?
That was, yeah. I still haven't watched that clip.
Oh, you got to watch it.
He did say that. But it's not, I don't know.
But it is interesting, though, because Jerry Jones has that statement about working with his kids. And then I wonder if Jerry would be like, okay, I agree. I did that too. So you want to be a quarterback. You want to coach your kid. Okay. Could Shador Sanders fall to 21? Yes. You just gave Dak Prescott an extension. Who is trading for Dak Prescott? I don't know. I don't know what team wants Dak. Maybe I get people said the Steelers. Trade Dak to the Steelers.
I don't know. I know I did it, and I coached the kids and things as we got higher up the chain and higher up the chain, the daddy ball comments started and all this other stuff. And I purposely made it like, it's not that they have to earn their spot too. He has to come in without any NFL coaching experience, not just because you're a great player in the NFL, one of the best players to do his job at his position. Iconic. I love Deion the player. He's got to come in and be a head coach in the NFL. There's going to be a lot of dogs in that room that are going, man, I ain't listening to a word this guy says. He got this guy to draft his kids. And I mean, what are they going to do? He's going to draft his kids, and then are they going to cut him? Are they going to cut him?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, it says draft the kids. It doesn't say play the kids, as somebody is in the chat pointing out. It's not crazy. Deion in Dallas would be a train wreck of biblical proportions.
Yeah.
Would it really? I mean, if it worked and he won, could you imagine that? If Deion were to win in the NFL with Dallas? I mean, yes. Is he the original celebrity coach? Yeah. But I mean, maybe he'd work better in college in the pros better than college. No recruiting.
Mm. I mean, just when you think Dallas can't get more messed
Crazy.
up.
That's a weird thought. Browns could find a way to trade the number 2 pick for Dak, and then Dallas could take Sanders. Would they have the ability to have both quarterbacks? Somebody said today to me that don't be surprised if the Browns are in a courtroom soon trying to get out of the contract because he's missing both games, both seasons, trying to free up cap space for their former quarterback and Deshaun Watson. The Browns might try to get away from that money and then be able to get a new quarterback like a Dak Prescott.
Things get so ugly when somebody feels like they've been slighted in the relationship,
right?
In the business relationship. If you take your fair market value, you have to accept it when you have success and you're not getting paid like people at other places. And if you basically rob a company and or a team for a ridiculous amount of money and you don't perform, they're looking to get out everything they can. I don't know. Sports Avenger, you're right. Can someone clue me in on what Deion has done to deserve an NFL head coaching job?
He did in 2 years completely change Colorado. I don't think you can undersell what he's done in Colorado. They were a laughingstock. They were the bottom of the bottom. It's a destination place. Kids want to go play there. Kids want to be a part of it. They've won games, maybe not a ton of games, but they've won games where they're winning nothing. Now they're winning games.
I think we'll know more if this court case thing that's going on with the collective and the NILs and all this other stuff, CBW tagged us on it on W3 or whatever that is, that site.
On 3, yep. Mm-hmm. Recruiting site.
Yeah, Colorado was they dropped their collective, whatever that means. And they're talking about making it a $22 million budget to pay athletes.
Right, because in the wake of
football.
Right. In the wake
all sports.
In the wake of the of the court ruling, the first school to do it was VCU. VCU said, we're paying our players $4 million a year. That's a college basketball program, mid-major. $4 million, direct pay, plus a revenue split. You're going to come here. We're going to pay you. It's like $250,000 a year, plus a revenue split of what we make in the black. So football is going to copy, and every football program is going to have the same. They're going to have their actual revenue split, and they're going to have a salary.
That article said that they would set a salary cap.
Yeah,
for colleges, you would get $22 million.
Yep,
to use throughout the whole school for all the athletes.
Yep, and the bulk of it will go to college football.
Yes.
So, you're not getting paid to go play tennis.
The offensive line and quarterback at Ohio State probably make $22 million.
They will, yes. Mm-hmm.
Like if they don't fix this, like that.
Well,
that number is going to shrink opportunity for what's going on. What's the kid's name from Georgia that went to Miami? Carson Beck.
Yep.
He ain't getting $4 million if the total budget for the whole year for all the teams is $22 million.
I don't know. Maybe he still could technically. The quarterback makes $50 million a salary cap. He gets a third of the salary cap on most NFL teams goes to the quarterback. So it's possible the quarterback could make that much money. It's not crazy. It's all about how you're going to allocate the funds. It's to stop it. I get your point, though. It's to stop this escalation. So Beck makes $4 million to go to Miami. The next kid says he's making $4 million, I make $5 million. When he made $5 million, I make $6 million. So it's to stop the escalation and to make it more where you can't afford to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just epic proportions is a good way to say it. I don't think it's going to work out.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't know, but I think you're giving it every opportunity to fail. which might be the reason why he takes it.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to get the assurances because how do you make sure that he drafts one of his 2 kids? Like, it's really tough to tell because if Shador goes in the top 3 or 4, like he might, the Cowboys aren't going from the 20th to the top 5. So then he's gone. It was different when it came to Bronny James because he was never a first-round pick. He should not have been even a second-round pick. The Celtics could have done that really funny thing and taken him, but the Lakers had 2 second-round picks, and they took him with a second-round pick.
LeBron's
it's a throwaway.
Playing. It's different. LeBron is still playing.
Correct, but the coach, it's the same thing. Do you want me to stay? LeBron said, you're going to draft my kid. You're going to draft my kid, you're going to draft my kid. And they drafted his kid. Same thing can be said with Deion. Like, I'll come coach you, but if you have a chance to draft my kid, you're going to draft my kid. That never happens in the NFL. Like, you're never dictating that to an NFL team that you're going to pay a kid, pay my son to be here. And, oh yeah, go up and get my kid. I want my quarterback. I've got him. It's Shador. Go get him.
Guys, we just had a big influx of people come in. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button, please, on your way out. Just scroll to the top and hit the like button. See how many likes we can get today. Number was 62.5.
One more story in college, and then we'll get to college basketball for tonight. Ohio State freshman wideout Jeremiah Smith has taken out an insurance policy.
Good.
For himself for the rest of his college career.
Good idea.
This company is run by Eric Chenoweth, who I called games with for the Huntsville flight. I've been in very strange places in very late nights with Eric Chenoweth.
Hold on. We're keeping it clean.
It's been clean. Talking about like rest areas and like weird late night conversations. He had the nickname Chenabomb. And if I see Eric, I call him Chenabomb. And there's like 5 people on the planet that know the joke when it's Eric Chenoweth, because Eric Chenoweth thought it would be a good idea at 2:00 in the morning in rural Georgia to take a gigantic run of firecrackers and scare the hell out of the head coach, Bob Thornton, and throw it outside of his window at the bus while we're at a gas station. The coach literally almost killed him because he said, Eric, we are at a gas station in the middle of the night. You don't throw fireworks at a gas station in the middle of the night.
So is Chenabomb a big dude?
He's 7'1". Yeah, he played basketball at North Carolina. Eric Chenoweth. He's huge. He's an enormous dude.
Guys like that don't care.
But he could have killed everybody. He could have killed us all. 2:00 in the morning in the middle of Georgia. We're going to play the Columbus something Dragons. I forget. We're the Huntsville flight. It was the first year. I'm on the team bus. We're all dead asleep. And we hear like a machine gun going off. And it's Eric jumping up and down and laughing as the coach comes screaming out of the bus and starts screaming at him. And as we're driving, he turns around and starts yelling at him. And he goes, I'm calling you Chenabomb from now on. That's what your name is.
That's actually a good nickname. We should get Chenabomb on the show.
We should. And then we could talk. I mean, I was reading this article and I started laughing. This insurance policy company was started.
Is he an insurance agent?
He started the company. He funded it with his money. The Columbus River Dragons. Holy crap, Joseph T. Meyer. That's amazing. Good job by you. Look at that poll. I forgot about that. Yeah, the Columbus River Dragons. And the first ever, it was called the NBA DL when it started, before it became the G League when Gatorade bought it. It was NBA DL. I still have NBA DL gear. So last team I was the play-by-play voice for was the NBA DL. Oh, they're the minor league hockey team with the same name now. Oh, cool. Interesting. That's a cool.
Columbus where?
Georgia.
Oh.
Columbus, Georgia. Because the D League at the time, as it was called, the D League was all Southern teams. It was the Charleston Low Country Gators. It was the Huntsville Flight. It was the Columbus River Dragons. It was the Birmingham something or other.
Had to be a real lesson in life for a lot of those guys in that league.
Oh my God. You better believe it. They're making $35,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's what caused. Remember, I've told the story.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told the story live here or not, but the story of late night, we're all sitting around and they went around. Everyone told everyone what they got from the school. Yeah. And like we got to some pretty crazy stories about what guys were getting from the universities. That's what started on that, because one guy was like, you guys know how big of a pay cut this thing is for me, right?
Yeah.
This is pre-NIL? Is this pre
Right.
everything? But like the guys are making $35K to play in the D League for the right to play in America and not have to go overseas.
Right.
So yeah, it was a huge, and it was a great lesson for me about the number of talented players to play basketball around the country and how damn tough it is to make the NBA.
To make it, yeah.
Like the NBA is really, really hard. Really, really hard to make it. A lot of really good players.
Josie Myers, it's Southwest Georgia. Can't get further south and not be in Florida, and further west and not be in Alabama.
Yep.
So that's over in that low corner.
And it's a hike from Huntsville. Like we were on a trip, like we did like 3 games in 5 days. So like I had a new respect for baseball to do that.
Right.
For minor league baseball teams that are on baseball trips for like, 10, 12 days on bus trips.
Oh.
Like I had a whole new respect for that. Like sleeping on buses, and on a basketball team, the guys are huge human beings. So everyone has their own like area.
Right. Space.
And it's a big bus.
Right.
I always used to say, like, how does a baseball team do this? Like baseball players aren't all small. Some of them are gigantic.
Yeah.
How do you get a 25, 30, 35 person crew on a bus and have them sit there for hours and hours and hours to go driving around?
That's what I mean. I was surprised when Kylie said that last week on the show that
Right?
she liked bus rides, because I don't know. I mean, the way they load the buses with all the equipment, and then the bus is not full.
Right.
So you have space a little bit, but that's a long time. What's the longest bus ride you ever took?
You can't, if I were to guess it, unless it's party time. The longest bus ride I ever took was probably for the D League. It was probably 8 hours, 9 hours on a bus to get there. It was horrible. It was in 2002. We did that trip 22 years ago.
We got probably kids watching the show that never even took a bus.
Oh my God. I mean, Madeline's never taken a bus. We've taken trains and trolleys. Like she can count that on her hand, the number of times she's been in trains and trolleys in her life.
Right.
Not at a non-airport, I should say, at a non-airport trolley, like an outdoor, like an Amtrak. She took her first Amtrak in DC. Going from Baltimore to DC was her first Amtrak. We used to take
the guys in the chat are putting their longest bus
13 hours, Detroit to Chicago.
13 hours for JPC to Fort. Look at Otto, Pittsburgh to Wichita.
24
hours. Jade Albets.
Why did that take 24 hours? How many bus stops?
How many stops? How many stops is that?
That's a lot to go 24 hours.
Long time. Yeah, that's a long time.
We reeled for the bus from
Wisconsin. Trip I ever took was 5 hours. A 5-hour bus trip.
Oh, yeah. We stopped everywhere but Chicago. Oh my gosh. Do not recommend Rochester to Boston, 11 hours on a Greyhound. I would take consistently every semester, I would take what was called the Peter Pan bus line from Western Mass to Boston. That was 3 hours to go from Western Mass to Boston. It was $25 round trip. In 1998, 99. We did it all the time.
Yeah,
hockey.
Pittsburgh to State College. I think it was $25
round trip.
Maybe, might have been 30. I can't remember. I think it was like 15 each way. But that's how I got to and from college for 2 years.
A lot of times, right?
I didn't have a car. Parents, you can't have a car at Penn State. So I was like, all right, I'll take the bus. Greyhound bus, headphones, see you later. Thinking about this Jenna bomb dude lighting off fireworks in Georgia. I might have killed him.
Because Bob Thornton, now you remember Bob Thornton, who was a coach in the WNBA for a while. Bob's a really good dude. But Bob himself is 6'10". Like Bob is
that's some big dudes.
Big dude. So it's a big, angry guy yelling at Eric Chenoweth with his bald head white dude, 7 foot tall, bald head white guy. is throwing out fireworks, and Thornton is irate. And I mean, I'm the same age as these kids. Like, I'm at the time in 2002, like I'm 22, 23 years old. Like, I'm the same age. These guys are all like 21, 22. I'm the same age. So like Bob Thornton's dad, like Bob Thornton's in his 50s at the time. Like, he's screaming at it, and we're just like, oh no, dad's mad.
Oh God.
And it's 2:00 in the morning. So everyone's really like half sleepy. I think we had just lost a game, and Eric was like trying to like snap people out of it or whatnot. But like he just went into Georgia because he had never seen, for like kids, if you live in the South, you get this. You can buy whatever the hell you want in the South in these gas stations. But where we're from in the North, like we're not used to that. So Eric is a kid from New Jersey, I believe, played at North Carolina.
Right.
He sees fireworks at a gas station. He's like, let's go. And so he grabs this huge thing and he just, here you go, lights it off in the parking lot with the gas tank. Like, the other thing was, because you kids might not know this, but like the gas tanks are underneath the gas station, like off to the side. There's like gigantic, like 5,000 gallon drums of gasoline underground. He lit it off right there. Like, he could have like literally blown everyone in like a square mile could have all been blown out.
Oh my gosh.
In the middle of the night. So, did I ever work with Michael St. John? The name does ring a bell. I know Warren St. John, the writer for the New York Times. I don't know Michael St. John though. I may have heard the name though, but in Huntsville, I don't know. But I think this is a brilliant idea. Given the NIL money that these kids potentially are worth,
absolutely.
Like, you got to do it. Like, you got to pay. It's expensive, but you got to do it. I think you have no choice in the matter but to do it.
Absolutely.
Pay for it.
You have to.
So
yes.
I think more kids might wind up doing it, taking out insurance policies themselves.
Not for everybody, but I mean, there's a market for it. There's kids making a lot of money,
especially in college now. It's called Leverage Disability and Life Insurance. A Southern California firm founded in 2018 by Kansas basketball star Eric Chenoweth. More than 2 years ago, Leverage signed Alabama's Bryce Young and Will Anderson Jr. to policies worth $20 million each. The $20 million total is believed to be the highest amount in history.
Yeah. Should reach
Brilliant business.
I think it's a great idea.
It's a great idea. Entered how much money. I may look Eric up, see if Eric wants to come on the show. That'd be kind of funny.
I'd love to hear it.
To walk down memory lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're an insurance salesman now, and would you insure yourself considering what you were doing? Knowing what you're up to?
Right.
Oh my. Oh, Messi's $700 million for his legs. Okay.
Wow. That's a big number right there.
I wonder how much money Smith got. The article doesn't say how much money Smith got, but I would do at least 20 million. I mean, if Bryce Young got 20 million, this is Smith, who could make in college, could make 2, 3, 5, 8 million just in college.
Right.
Now, over the next 2 seasons, if they win the national championship, oh boy.
And he has a big game.
He has a big game. You go on the open market. Hey, Ohio State, you're paying me or I'm walking. That's what's going to happen so often in college football. These kids are going to have big games and they're going to be all free agents. And I think I read an article about this a while ago, that right now, and you know this being a dad of an athlete, a scholarship is a year-to-year contract.
That's all it is.
It might not be in the future. It might actually lock kids in. These kids might sign contracts that says they cannot leave.
Well, if the situation's right, that's fine. But if the coach can just leave, you can't make it one way.
Okay.
Coaches can just pick up and go. So the players having freedom, I'm in favor of. But if the culture is right, the school is right, you don't play your freshman year. You should stay if you like the school and you like the coach, and he's going to stay, or she's going to stay if you're playing a sport with a female coach. Just leaving and starting over is not always the best answer. It's like anything else. Again, sports is a meritocracy. It's supposed to be. Put in the work. You beat out the person in front of you, get an opportunity to play. If you perform, you keep playing. If you don't, there's someone that's going to take your spot. I don't know. I would like it. I think, hey, if you like it here, you got a 2-year deal. That would put the kid peace of mind. I mean, they're under constant pressure.
Yep.
They got to perform in class. That's the first and foremost thing because they're still college kids. So if you fail out or don't get the minimum, it don't matter if you hit 400, you're gone. So you make it a requirement that you can breathe and focus on school, and you got a spot where you could, hang your hat. It's okay.
It's going to be really fun to watch this over the next couple of years as see how it all plays out. It's going to be very different. Okay, college basketball tonight. We got a bunch of games to get into here tonight, starting with number 1 Auburn, who may or may not have their top player who sprained his ankle in the last game. Do we know what's going on here for Broom yet? I mean, the line's 7.5. It hasn't really moved. Does that tell you he's playing?
Let's see. I gotta find a game. Well, there's a lot of games. 23, 24. Yeah, no movement. So I would say yes. Because I mean, that's the way the number's sitting, right? So I don't know. I don't even
first
know who
move was
Broom is.
like, yes, you do. You know who he is. He's a guy with a balding head. He's 6'10". He's the best player for Auburn.
You saw him. That is. I know who it is now. Yeah.
Yeah. He's out. Oh my. They're 7.5 point favorites with him not playing. Whew.
Apparently so.
Wow. I don't know if I agree with that now.
Thank you to Juice.
He's out. So we're sure he's out. That's not like hypothetical, like guessing. Like, he's out.
I don't know.
9-7 against the number. Mississippi State 2-1 in the SEC. Auburn has not covered a game in the SEC yet. Auburn's 0-3 against the spread in the SEC.
Win all wins and no covers. Is that what that was?
Yes. They have only lost one game all year. That was at Duke.
Right.
They've won by 3, 5, 16, and 29 over the last 4 games, but have not covered on any of them.
Wow, what's the total? Game's going over.
150.5.
150. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Broom is out. That's true. Okay, he's out. There we go. There it is. 7.5 without him. Now, Auburn's still super talented, but wow. 0-3. I would lean dog.
Okay.
Number 3, Duke, is laying 24 against Miami.
Jeez.
Some are calling Cooper Flagg the best freshman in the history of college basketball.
Okay. You agree?
There's only been 3 true freshmen to ever win the Player of the Year award, the Naismith Award, in the history of college basketball. He's a runaway favorite to win it, to be number 4.
655, 656.
I mean, he's incredible. There's no debating. The kid is on a different level than everybody else when he gets going, and now he's getting better and better and better.
The first half is 14. 14? Goodness gracious.
Dick Vitale said that Cooper Flagg is right there with the 3 best players I've ever watched in person. The 3 best: LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson. That's who Cooper Flagg. Kid's from Maine. He's from Maine.
Wow.
Is in the same conversation.
See, some things can happen good in Maine.
I guess. Get the hell out. Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson are the other 3 freshmen to win Player of the Years in college basketball. Like, he's in that category. I mean, Cooper Flagg put up numbers against he practiced here in Vegas against Team USA, and he put up points.
I'll ask the chat. What are you more comfortable? Because they're both an uncomfortable lay. Game minus 24 or first half minus 14?
I'd rather do the first half.
It's over quicker.
Yeah, at least you know.
I think you get the full bore push in the first half, right? Like, that's 24 just some random stuff that happened at the end. That's a lot of points. Is Miami that bad?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
Ken Palm has this game, what, 25?
I mean, realize that, Jim Larinaga walked out
I know.
halfway into this game.
Yeah.
It is a 25-point win by Ken Palm. Correct.
That's why you make the line 24.
87-62.
I could go back in the risk room tomorrow.
Everyone's saying
Email
first
me,
half.
sportsbkconsig@gmail.com. Send the emails.
Take the first half.
I think so.
Oh, Joseph says his game. First half to prevent the back door.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people like the back door.
Flag's twin brother committed to Maine. How much does he suck? Cooper Flag's brother must blow.
Does he play hockey?
Right? Yes. Go play basketball at Maine in the America East. What are we doing?
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know they had a team.
Well, they do. I mean, UNH plays them. UMass Lowell plays them. You know, Vermont plays them. I bet America East games from time to time. But like, what are we doing?
My goodness.
What are we doing?
I think his girlfriend lives there.
Oh, where? In Maine?
Yeah, keep him at home. Hey, stay here. We're in love.
I don't know.
Don't
Yes,
go-
Anthony Davis had a great freshman year for Kentucky. Yes. And so did Cooper Flag. I'm telling you, Cooper Flag is going to be the talk of the country in the month of March.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be talking about Cooper Flag.
Wow.
I mean, he's number one pick of the draft, not even a question. Like, not even a question. He's the top pick in the draft coming up. And most likely he's going to be a Washington Wizard.
Huh.
Enjoy that. Get to go play in Washington. Alabama is at home. Number is now 12 against Ole Miss, but Ole Miss is 6-1 against the number this year on the road. They've won 3 games outright as road dogs.
Alabama, Ole Miss, 621, 622. What favorite? You like favorite here?
No,
Really?
number's gone against me. I like the dog.
No idea.
Brian Bartone, thank you. Cooper Flag scored 60 at Rikers SummerSlam. I think only one other person's done that.
Wow.
Flag looks like a create a player on PlayStation 2.
Good call. Good call.
Well, he is
WD Punch
6'10.
Mark One.
He is.
Yeah.
He's 6'10 with a handle.
But he can
Like-
do all kinds of things.
He can dunk on people. He can shoot threes. He can play
Right.
defense. He's long like Kevin Durant. Like he's a pterodactyl. Like he's just something.
Right.
He looks like Jason Tatum. Like that. Like if I had a comp for him, he looks like Jason Tatum. Like
Okay.
that type of guard skills in a big man who's 6'11", who's long, can shoot, can jump.
Does he play defense?
Yeah, it's Duke. You got to play defense at Duke. So yeah,
Wow.
he's going to be a player. But in this game, I think Ole Miss hangs around.
Okay.
I think they hang around. Kentucky and Texas A&M. This is the second best game of the night. Auburn's the best game of the night. This is the second best
I
game.
don't know. This might be the best game of the night.
2 top 11 teams playing.
Yeah. Wow, that total's high. Woo.
156.5.
Yeah. Under the?
Maybe. Don't hate it. Don't hate that. The on the road, 4-3 and 7-3. Kentucky at home to the over. It's the one worry.
How
My
good
God.
is Kentucky? Like
Good.
for real.
Good against Florida. My God, last home game for Kentucky was 106 to 100. Went over by 40 points. Flew over.
I don't know. At first thought is under. And I don't know why. This is the week officially that I'm all in with the college baskets with the conference play starting. This is the week where it gets serious and watch a lot of games. And
Ken
This will
Palm
be
has
all
this as a
week.
3-point win for Kentucky.
that's it.
Yep.
Wow.
3-point discrepancy in the market. Ken Palm to the line.
Probably a dog play then.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
80 to 77. So under.
Right there.
Dog and under.
It's 157. Jeez. Numbers already getting
We're
close.
We're getting close already. We're getting.
Damn.
Yeah. A&M hung around with Alabama last Saturday.
Yeah.
True. Yep, they true.
I actually
Wade's out.
that's what made me think of it. Oh,
That's why. There we go. Wade's out for the Aggies. Good call, Juice. Thank you. That's why it's 6. There you go. That's why. And then one more. Baylor ranked on the road dogs to Arizona, the Big 12 tonight.
Is Arizona good?
They're so inconsistent.
Right?
They're so inconsistent. Are they good on paper? Yes. Can you trust them? Not really. They're 10-5 on the year. Their losses are to Wisconsin, Duke, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and UCLA, but they've won 6 games in a row. They're 4-0 in the Big 12 under Tommy Lloyd so far.
Time's that game? Is that a late
4-point win according to KenPom.
Oh, sweet. That game's at 8:00?
Late. 11 Eastern, yeah.
11 Eastern, 8:00 our time. That's
Late
great.
night.
Oh, I love that.
Take the dog. Nikki down in Arizona says take the dog. I don't blame him.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't mind it.
I was playing USC at USC late too. 162 over to 161 now. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was talking about
Good
inconsistent.
late night basketball. It's great.
USC is 6-10 against the number this year. Oof, that's brutal. Tonight, Tuesday night, Tiger Woods makes his debut on TGL. Juniper taking on LA. LA is a big favorite, -163. Will this make
Tigers on Jupiter, right?
Correct. Tiger's a big dog tonight.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna peek at this.
Oh, you have to peek at this. I'll peek at this. Everyone's going to peek at this. This is worth at least 5 minutes of your night to just like see what it looks like.
We'll see what's happening with
Justin Rose, Colin Morikawa, and Thigala. That's LA. Homa, Kistner, Tiger. That's Juniper.
I mean, you're supposed to bet against Tiger. But it's his show. It's his. I don't know.
I don't think it matters if it's his show or not. I mean, it's. I don't think it's like a video game where if you have home field advantage because it's yours,
right?
You can go ahead like on Madden. It's like your controller, so you have a better idea. You can play better on your system versus somebody else's. I don't think it's like that.
I don't know. I will watch it. I won't like.
I just can't believe you can bet it. I just can't believe you can bet on this.
Listen, people are betting on everything.
Got a story coming up for you here in a second.
Yeah, we talked about planes yesterday and people betting and doing stuff on plane. I mean, I'll bet on anything. I don't know. I don't think, again, if it was our book, I don't think we'd put it up. I'd like to watch it and see, learn a little bit more. But, sometimes I think 2025 will be a year where there'll be some transition and we'll be able to enjoy sports without betting on them. I think, and whether it's stories like, Jonte Porter, they're going to limit options. They're going to limit props. I think people are going to have to go back to just maybe liking sides and totals on stuff at some point. So how about hitting golf against a screen and then putting on some fun ass simulator green where the guy gets to push the buttons to make the undulations.
Yep.
Yeah. That's I mean, if me and you were playing, I wouldn't bet on it.
I agree.
It's crazy.
I won't bet on it. No way.
Is there anyone in the chat that's betting on it? That's what I want to know.
100%.
Show yourself.
Yes. There's no debate. Yes. Because FanDuel's got multiple options.
I know.
You go hole by hole on FanDuel. You can really, FanDuel's got a full calendar, a full menu to bet the TGL tonight if you want. Yeah, no thanks. NBA tonight, Nuggets game. Nuggets at Dallas, laying 3.5, 234.5 from a total perspective.
Everybody playing?
I don't know. I was looking for that earlier as to who was in and who was out for Dallas. But I think we're good for, let's see, the injuries. For Dallas, Irving is questionable. Luka's out, obviously.
Yeah.
He may play. Number tells me he's not going to.
Yeah. You get prepared in life to be put in certain situations, and somehow ended up doing this show and all the other shows and things that I do rather than sit in this risk room at some joint trying to figure out whether who's playing or who's not playing in the NBA.
Right.
Probably contributed to my stroke at the end. All those, I mean, that COVID year was something. Just trying to figure out who was playing, when they were playing.
Right.
You know, they got COVID. They don't. What is COVID? How long are they going to be out? What do you mean they're playing all the games in the middle of the day in some amusement park gym in Orlando?
In front of
That was
avatars.
the craziest year of my life.
Easy. 100%.
And now trying to figure this out pregame. I mean, you're supposed to bet the Nuggets in this spot, boys. That's all. Just let them take the Mavericks, and good luck.
Early game is Cavs at Pacers. Cavs
Kind of interested to watch this one. I'm kind of interested. The Pacers is the play.
It's a big number for a home dog.
Cleveland is ridiculous, but they're laying 9, 8.5, 9 on the road. Pacers are supposed to cover that number.
Cleveland is 12-4 ATS on the road. 12-4
What is their record straight up?
on the road.
Yeah.
13-3.
Damn, son.
20-2 straight up at home. And they're coming off of a loss. They lost to Indiana at home. This is one of those home and home situations.
Game's going over.
232. The last game.
Are the Pacers are on a 6-game winning streak?
And that last game went under by 38.5 points.
Oh, wow.
38.5.
The Pacers are on a 6-game winning streak? Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They're getting 9.5 or 9?
And 5 straight unders, too. Yeah, they've won 6 games and they've covered all 6 games. Covered 7 of 8, and they've won 7 of 8.
Wow.
Now, it's the Cleveland wins, by far the most impressive. Golden State, Chicago, Brooklyn, Phoenix, Miami.
Guys at Caesars are watching the show right now. They just moved it to 8.
Oh, there we go.
How about that? Pacers is the play. Halliburton out. Rincon. Oh,
Okay, so that's why it's 9. Okay. That's why it's 8.5.
Free game is just, it's a master class. And wait, there's guys doing master classes. Never mind. Bad reference. I didn't mean that. Didn't mean that. Circle back this, Pizzola, if you're watching or any of your minions are watching. I didn't mean that.
They always do.
Somebody's watching. I don't know. I didn't mean that.
They
But it's a master class in betting pregame in the NBA.
Not the one you pay for.
No.
Stars and Maple Leafs tonight in the NHL.
Listen, we're down to the end of the show. We finally got to the hockey. You see this card today? This is fantastic.
Got 3 good games to talk about.
3 good games?
Rest of them are kind of eh.
Eh?
These 3 good ones, though.
You better get into the hockey, son.
I am in the hockey, but
Nah, you're not. You're half-assing it.
correct. That's true.
You're half-assing it. You
But I gotta
can't
watch
lose
more.
right now in the NFL.
True.
You love college basketball, so despite the fact that you can't get a college basketball game
Right now,
you're
I
gonna
can't.
pick all college basketball.
Right now I can't. Well, I'm due. Water will find its level. We'll get there. We'll come back.
Water will find its level. All right. Surprised by this number at all?
No. I told you, I bet the Stars to win it all.
I know.
Stars are my
road
team.
favorites. We're good with this.
I am.
Who's playing goal? Good
Oh,
starters.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I believe so. Hold on. Ottinger against Wall. Yep.
Okay. I don't know. Complete
Give me
toss.
Stars.
Give you stars.
Vegas favored on the road against Nashville. It's a theme here today. A lot of road favorites in the NHL.
Remember one of the last things we talked about last night?
Yep.
This
Called
game.
it. You called it.
I said, who made this game pick 'em? Somebody got to be responsible for this number because the Knights are going to be favored when we wake up in the morning. And now we're doing the show in the middle of the afternoon, and the Knights are favored.
Yep. Hill.
The Knights are going to win, and the game's going to go under.
Both goalies unconfirmed. We don't know who's playing yet.
Oh, if they start this crap with the hockey with the goalies, man, I mean, Pre-game betting is done forever. You can't. If you don't know the goalies in the hockey, you just, nah, come on.
Fair.
Although the game's going under.
Okay. And then Vancouver at Winnipeg. Jets are minus 150.
Only 3 games you've mentioned?
Mm-hmm. Rest of them are
Detroit? You're not talking about the D?
the Red Wings? What are we talking about?
They won 7 in a row.
Who cares?
You're wearing a Lions hat. Everything's coming up Detroit.
They stink. What are we talking?
Reach out to that guy for the show tomorrow, that Detroit guy that we had on the show. we gotta have somebody on the ground in Detroit.
All right.
For the show. See if he'll come on.
Jim Costa from the ticket.
I want to talk to Costa.
Okay.
This game, why is it only minus 150? Why? I don't know why.
Should be higher?
Yes, Winnipeg should be higher. Yes.
No. Okay.
Yes. Winnipeg.
Okay.
And under the
Otto, I watch more night games than I do Bruins games. What are you talking about? Nonsense. Knights are the best team in hockey.
Knights are very good.
So that's not true at all. That's not. It's just, but I have other priorities. I've been watching, and Dave's right. I've been betting things I've been winning. I went 13-4 the last 5 days in football.
Hasn't watched a hockey game in a month, boys.
No, wrong. I've watched the night game. I bet the night game. I was betting the Knights on the puck line. I've been watching night games. I just haven't been watching much else. So
the only hockey game you watched was Brooksy's.
That's true. That's in person though. That's different.
I know.
That's different. But I've watched Golden Knights games.
So Red Wings minus, big money line, but they're going to win. Bet the streak to continue.
Against
the game to go over
against the Sharks. I hope so.
That's the play. The Penguins are unbelievably
bad,
small favorites against Seattle. Can't lay that, but that game's going under. And then the game of the night is really the Rangers in Colorado Lake.
I can't. The Rangers are just
they're playing better.
Such an enigma with the Rangers.
I know.
I mean,
there's Otto in the chat. Detroit is a play tonight. You're damn right.
They're 20-20-2, Dave. Why am I paying attention to the Rangers? They're 4-5-0 over the last 10 games. I'm not paying attention to the Rangers. The Rangers are gone. Goodbye. See you later. Bye-bye. See you later.
Okay.
That's why I told you. Most of the games tonight are like,
Funny Detroit. You mentioned the Tampa Bay-Boston game.
Because both those teams are 49 points versus 47 points. They're both just mediocre. Both teams mediocre. Bruins might become the first team in the NHL in the last 50 years to fire their coach twice in 1 year.
Oh, please.
They're already talking about blowing the guy out. They're just bad.
Unrealistic expectations.
Too much money committed to guys. I mean, if it's true that Marchand and Pasta hate each other, got a big problem. Pasta already said, I'm not playing on the same line as Marchand.
Wow, Ross Randall just came in the chat. Good to see you, Ross. McAvoy, guy hard. Give me the Tampa money line, puck line, and the over.
Possible. But McAvoy, he's an offensive defenseman. He's not really a defensive defenseman. So I don't know. But they're a mess. Bruins are a complete and total utter mess. This is very, very true. We need to do the whole show inside of here.
Let's go.
We have 4 minutes to be wrapping up through here. So let's jump ahead to bet it or book it. Quickie rapid fire. Providence and the Creighton Blue Jays. These games are always decided by 9 points or less. Like always.
College basketball?
College basketball.
Book it.
It's ridiculous. You think Creighton wins? Okay. Hasn't happened. Last 5 games have been decided.
I'm just fading you right now. I'm trying to get your streak turned around. Whatever you say right now, I'm saying book it.
Just based upon what? Just based upon that?
On your record recently in college basketball.
Okay. That's fair. But at some point, we'll turn things around.
Yes.
Ole Miss catching 10.5. You can get 12 now.
Yeah, it's smoked.
I don't know. I like Ole Miss playing tight.
Runs them out the gym. Book it.
I don't know. Ole Miss plays well on the road. And then Illinois laying 3.5 in Indiana.
You know I love home dogs. Damn it. I kind of like this one, though. I like Illinois. Damn it. All right, I'll say bet this one.
Last 2 road games.
Oh, my nose.
At Washington and at Oregon. Big wins for Illinois. Came home. They beat your Penn State team like a rented mule.
I like Fitty or something.
And then they lost outright in their last game.
Yeah.
Underwood's pissed off.
We got a lot of Hoosiers, basketball guys, Indiana guys in the chat. I don't know. They lost to USC.
Favorite thing about today is what?
Two things. One, the hockey card. There's 13 games. Enjoy the hockey, boys and girls. But two, this guy named Danny Delaney is posting stuff on Twitter, and I found him somehow thanks to the For You thing, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad.
It's really bad.
You have no idea sometimes what's going to pop up, but I found this guy and he posts these things. 53 years ago today, Sanford and Son made its debut on NBC.
How about that?
I posted a clip today of the theme song. Bum, 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 bum. It's the best. Absolutely one of the best all-time sitcom theme songs. Quincy Jones did it. Red Fox, Lamont, Grady, Aunt Esther. It's one of the best shows of my life. I love that show. So
you guys just signed Skylar Thompson. Favorite thing about today, Skylar Thompson. Favorite thing about today, and I had seen this earlier from the Pat McAfee show. Elliot Wolf is going to be reporting to Mike Vrabel. The GM is going to report to the coach. Isn't that sort of the other way around? Doesn't the coach report to the GM?
Listen, man, everything's upside down now.
Mike Vrabel is literally the man in New England. It is tremendous. The Patriots just handed the keys over to an adult. I absolutely love it. Everything's changing. It's all going to be about accountability, and it's Mike Vrabel's show to run, which is the ownership got out of the way. Robert Kraft got out of the way. Jonathan Kraft wasn't even on the press release to say that Mike Vrabel had been hired. Ownership is out of the way. Favorite thing about today, Patriots appear to be headed in the right direction. It's good stuff.
Relax, Francis.
He is Dave. I am Matt. We are back tomorrow for a Wednesday. Hope to see you all here. No bonus time. We'll do bonus time coming up tomorrow. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Hope to see you back for a Wednesday's BVB.